Touhou Project is a video game series created by Zune. No, it's not an anime. Those are all fan-made. It consists of shoot-em-ups or shmups, following the adventures of Raimu Hakure and Marisa Kirisame as they solve various incidents in the fantastical world of Gensokyo. As shmups, these games pride themselves on their focused, fast-paced gameplay and energetic music, as well as being the most recognizable example of the Danmaku subgenre. Online, however, Touhou is a completely different beast. You've almost certainly seen some of its fan works already, even if you didn't know it. This silly music video of Ronald McDonald? It uses the theme for one of Touhou's most iconic characters, Flander Scarlet. This cool shadow art music video? It's based off a remix from one of the series' earliest entries. These silly looking plushies? They're all based off of Touhou characters. There's tons and tons of content beyond this, but they often devolve into either, oh my gosh, I'm so edgy, teehee, or just porn, or both. Along with these popular but expected examples of fanworks has come a more unexpected form of appreciation: full-length fan games. Music videos and mountains of fan art are to be expected for a series that's been around as long as Touhou, but fan games are something you very rarely see, even in massive fandoms like Undertale or Omori. For decades now, talented developers have used Touhou's Danmaku framework to create their own experiences. Most of the ones that have made it out of Japan are very well made, keyword being most, but I'd like to focus on one specific game today, that being Touhou Shinjuto, Hollow Song of Birds. Released in 2019 by a group of developers I'll be calling Team Kaisendo, Hollow Song of Birds serves as an excellent example of modern fan games. It adds many layers of original and quality content while maintaining the tightly designed gameplay that a shmup requires. It's for this reason that I wanted to put a spotlight on this game, to show both where it excels and where it could improve. To start, I'd like to go over the main mechanics of the game. The basics of a Touhou-style shmup still apply. You can hold the specific key to slow down and show your hitbox. Bosses have special attacks called spells that provide huge score for clearing without bombs or deaths, and enemies drop extra items to give you further score. The genre would get pretty boring if this was all there was to every game, so fan games usually have gimmicks that make their gameplay fundamentally different than an average shmup. For this game, the gimmick lies in the bomb system. Rather than be dropped from enemies, bombs are instead built up through these crystals that explode from enemies. Due to the prevalence of these crystals, you can build up bombs fairly quick, which is compensated for by their lower power compared to bombs from most other fan games. Clearing bullets gives you colored crystals for further score, encouraging the player to use their bombs aggressively and strategically to rack up huge points. Given that extra lives are granted based on score, efficient bomb use is helpful for both survival and score players. Or you can just blow up and act like you don't know nobody. Whatever floats your boat, honestly. These crystals also serve a secondary function, filling the Z-spell gauge. Once full, this gauge releases an incredibly powerful bomb that's unique to each character. What's more, the Z-spell does not invalidate the spell card bonus, unlike the normal bomb, allowing the player to skip problematic attacks and benefit score-wise. Though the system is very helpful, I feel it's a little undercooked. Z-spells take a long time to charge up, and the payoff is over pretty quick, which makes Z-spells feel more like a light show than a proper mechanic. What makes bomb use more complex is their variance based on shot type. Most fan games give each character her own unique bomb and shot to suit different playstyles, but Hollow Song of Birds takes a bit of a different approach. Each of the 4 characters does have her own shot, but their bombs are instead decided through the sub-shot selection. After choosing a character, you will then need to select one of 9 potential sub-shots, each of which provide different effects to your character's shot, the bomb meter, and the bomb itself. You can just pick whichever's your favorite crayon flavor, but there are important differences between them. For example, The red sub-shot causes your shot to leave a lingering damage over time effect on enemies, while the orange one provides extra damage on greys at the cost of a weaker main shot. Similarly, white massively boosts bomb power, while black massively nerfs it. These sub-shots are surprisingly well balanced, allowing you to tailor your gameplay to your specific playstyle and preference. Do you prefer the greater crowd control of the aqua sub-shot, or the greater single target damage of the blue? Or do you prefer the CBT, that is, the black? While the sub-shots may seem incredibly complex at first, their variance and relative simplicity allow for both incredibly varied playstyles and a high level of accessibility. The shot types also follow this trend. There's only 4, Reimu, Marisa, Sakuya, and Kaguya, yet they cover every major type of shot a player could want, especially when considering the sub-shots. Reimu's great for stages, but for bosses, she's actually not that bad. Meanwhile, Marisa's damage is great, but you have to contend with actually aiming. Sakuya serves as a bit of a middle ground, providing wider coverage than Marisa and better single target damage than Reimu, though she excels at neither aspect. Kaguya is complete nonsense. Okay, that's a bit of an exaggeration. Kaguya serves as the wide shot type, but it's implemented in a bit of a strange way. Rather than an all-encompassing wave of bullets, Kaguya fires a few thin lasers at specific angles. This strange shot means that she fails to cover stages completely while having horrible damage for bosses. Her damage at point blank is very powerful, but the difference between her point blank and a normal playstyle is so large that point blanking is almost required to even have competent damage. Due to this, Kaguya is relegated to being another great source for challenge runs. Overall, Hollow Song of Birds provides 3 well-balanced characters and 1 weak. This avenue for skill expression is further enhanced by 2 other mechanics, the chapter system and last words. Stages are broken up into smaller sections called chapters, with each chapter cleared without being hit, filling up a gauge in the top left. If this gauge is 80% full by the end of the boss, they will move into their last word, a difficult final spell that disables bombs and lives. Clearing this spell provides a massive score bonus, even compared to regular spell cards. Even if you get hit on the last word, the game simply moves on at no cost to your resources, leaving this system as a way for skilled players to expand their engagement with the game without coming at the cost of newcomers. In addition, chapters are given a danger rating based on how frequently you've gotten hit on them in the past, with higher ratings playing a warning sound effect. While only aesthetic, this system is very helpful for learning and improving, as it essentially provides a pre-made list of where to practice, once again enhancing the game for newcomers and veterans alike. These traits would be useless if the actual bullet hell was poorly designed. Thankfully, this isn't the case. Each boss follows a specific theme, and their patterns all expand on that theme in interesting ways. For example, the Stage 2 boss is a Tsukumogami of toothpicks, leading her patterns to feature many small, disposable clones, mimicking the easily discarded nature of toothpicks. Meanwhile, the Stage 5 boss is the incarnation of an Egyptian god, leading many of her patterns to use imagery from Egyptian mythology. These kinds of connections are present throughout every boss in the game, giving them all a unique identity not just through dialogue, but through the gameplay experience itself. The game's patterns aren't just thematically fitting, they're challenging and engaging in their own right, even as soon as the first stage boss. The game makes the player move around the screen in ways an average Touhou game just doesn't. Patterns like this one force the player to rethink how they dodge and adjust their playstyle on the fly, keeping the experience interesting for even seasoned players. Bullets from the bottom and side of the screen, destructible minions, and a whole host of unique ways to spawn in bullets all serve to make the game a visual buffet for players and spectators alike. The music also complements the gameplay incredibly well. It's composed by Wanwan, but its quality is on the same level as Zun's compositions for mainline Touhou. The soundtrack ranges across many different tones, from dramatic to energetic to peaceful and so on, yet it always maintains a consistent identity. All of the music in this video has been from Hollow Song of Birds soundtrack, so you can form your own opinion, but to me it's top tier in Fangame music. However, this high level of quality doesn't always extend to the game's stages. At times, they can feel awfully repetitive, a feeling exacerbated by the easy-to-collect items and prevalent bombs. Stages 1 and 5 suffer from this issue the most. Though they both have clever ideas, they also rely a bit too much on the same enemies, leading to a somewhat lengthy and boring design. Stage 5 even has 2 mid-bosses. Its greed is truly sickening. This doesn't heavily affect the gameplay experience, as the patterns are still fun to dodge, but the design does take a bit of a step down from Team Kaisendo's previous games. Every element of the game comes to a head in its final stage, which is an exception to the design flaws of its predecessors. While lengthy, Stage 6 remains interesting due to its variety of enemy behavior. In combination with the music, it builds a consistent sense of tension towards what may be beyond this pyramid. The transition into the actual final boss is great too. Rather than just a looping stage theme, the game is content to only have ambient wind, while the last boss, Horo Torusumi, introduces herself, with a music box-esque melody soon leading into her climactic theme. Horo's theme is deliberately similar to the Egyptian god Horus, and she is a crested ibis, combining the two major character themes from the game into one character. Her fight serves as a culmination of every mechanic the game has used so far. For each spell card, she changes your subshot to match with the attack's color, forcing the player to use subshots that they may not be familiar with. Every spell prominently features different colors, cementing Horo's theme of rainbows. Her patterns are also some of the most dazzling in the game, while also being some of the most engaging to dodge. She's even the only boss to counter the Z spell with her own attack. When everything's said and done, the player is shown the sunrise of Gensokyo to cap off Hollow Song of Birds. Out of the massive ocean of fan content that Touhou has to offer, I feel that Hollow Song of Birds serves as the perfect example of what fan games can be. It doesn't have the largest amount of content, nor the craziest mechanics, but its quality and blend between complexity and accessibility make it a great entry point for fan games, as well as a satisfying experience for veterans. If anything in this video has appealed to you, I highly recommend trying the game for yourself. By the way, this is my first scripted and edited video, so I greatly appreciate any genuine feedback. Have a good one.